In dementia units, desserts and morning and afternoon teas are full of sugar and chocolate, so craving is rife. And many women put on a lot of weight, and men coming into dementia units, blood sugars, all over the place, confidence goes, weight's gained, and it's not a good equation at all. I mean, some elderly women, of course, most of the dementia residents being elderly women, come in their 80s with Alzheimer's, and often they've been living on their own for many years, no family, husband's gone, passed on, and they've been eating very light meals, and then they come into a dementia unit and here's the banquet, morning, noon and night, which they're exposed to, and it's an interest in dementia units eating. Everyone loves eating, looking at the food, eating the food, and so the kilograms go, get put on, and it's not a healthy situation either physically or psychologically, because confidence goes when weight gain accrues. So what to do about this situation? Well, there are options, actually. There are good options, because in dementia units there are diabetics, and of course all that sugar doesn't help diabetes, does it? But that's another story. But the diabetics, of course, are catered to well with diet. So for puddings or desserts at night or midday, they can have fruit salad. Okay, so that's a good option. Morning and afternoon tea, triangle sandwiches, little sandwiches or asparagus rolls or a piece of fruit. There's always something for the diabetics. So if you feel as a power of attorney relative with your family member coming into the unit that you don't want your parents, say, exposed to all the sugar and putting on weight and all the problems that gives, then you can ask for your parent to be put on a diabetic diet. Even though they're not about diabetic, still they might become one if they have all the sugar available, especially the chocolate, which is so addictive. But you can just say, look, mum's always eaten light meals and she's fairly lightweight, but she prefers it that way. She's fit and active and independent. We don't want her putting on weight. That will disable her. She doesn't really like chocolate anyway, and we don't want her developing a sweet tooth and becoming addicted to it with all the problems that accrue from there. So if she can just have a light, just say the diabetic menu, which is, as I said, the fruit salad, the sandwiches, if she can go on that menu, she'll be happy with that, because that's all she's ever eaten anyway. And that way you avoid the whole ongoing problem, because once the person becomes addicted to the sugar, all the lovely chocolate chips and biscuits and cake and it's on it goes, it's just immense. Once they become addicted, it's very hard then to take them off that and go on to fruit salad and sandwiches. They'll be asking at their table, well, why aren't I having that? They've just got the taste of it, sweet tooth alive and well, and they'll be a bit miffed if they have to go off it. Whereas if they haven't got the taste of it anyway, much easier. Now, the other thing is vegetarian options. Where I've worked anyway, there are astoundingly very good vegetarian options available for dementia residents. And, of course, there's the salads, which everyone has, and there's the chips, and there's the vegetables, but sometimes they have very good, lasagnas or pizza or macaroni cheese, whatever, instead of the meat, bacon, sausages, etc. And it's a nice option. I mean, it might be a bit weighty, but it's not, but it's a nice change. And of course, there tends to be more salad and more fruit and more vegetables and more rice as a vegetarian. So if your mother is also a light eater, maybe she only really likes fish anyway, she's not really a big meat eater, well, the vegetarian option will suit her then as well, because the main course does tend to be pretty heavy on meat. And if she doesn't like that, maybe the vegetarian option will suit her better. But you can change the menus too, because there's, each season there's a different menu. So if it's not suiting your mother, and of course ask her how she's finding it, and come to the meals to see how she is liking it, how she is eating it and getting on with it. So once you've got all that in place, you can adjust the menu or change it to suit her needs and not whims, but her needs and interests. And This is the really good thing, you know, that you've got this flexibility in a dementia. It doesn't have to be the standard fare, and lots of relatives don't realise this, that there's vegetarian options, there's diabetic options that you can have even if your mother's not a diabetic. So it's important. These things are really important. So I've written about this and more. Residence Voice, Residence Rise on Amazon. The Residence Voice is everything you need to know for someone coming into a dementia unit. Residence Voice once in the dementia unit. So companion books, good gifts, Christmas coming up, birthdays, etc. They're really good reading, not depressing, intentionally not depressing. So thank you for your viewing and support. Please thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks.